shock, revving up the engines for an epic race. Legends World Challenge.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Legends World Challenge here on Infinity Broadcasting. I'm your commentator here this afternoon, as always, Hamish Munro, as I join you here this evening for round number 4 of Season 1 here of the Legends World Challenge. Out on home soil once again, back at Sandown here for our little run here of Australian circuits for the midpoint of the season. What a race it's going to be here tonight. A little bit of controversy last week out at Alton Park, but we look forward to tonight's race. Where we have 9 drivers ready to go to have a crack around this magnificent Sandown race circuit here tonight. Let's check out the track map and just get a little bit of a preview here of the circuit. Thanks to Jay Kennedy of SimSpeed for providing me with these images, of course. As we scroll on down, we get a little bit of a glimpse towards some other race circuits around Australia in comparison to where Sandown is, including Phillip Island, Winton, Canberra, Sydney, Bathurst, Tailem Bend, and then, of course, Adelaide and Broken Hill, as well as we then trickle our way in further down towards Dandenong, Springvale area here in Victoria, into where Sandown is, I should say. I would call this my local circuit, compared more to Phillip Island, but it's a beautiful little track here in Victoria, of course. 3.1 Ks, 13 corners, anti-clockwise direction. For this circuit, this layout's been used ever since 1984. We start on the main straight here, and we run in a fast-paced run down towards turn number 1. Need to be careful on the race start, not to get caught up in the moment if you're starting at the front of the field. Forget to change gears into turn 1. Can easily run it out wide into the sandpit or even into the grass and into the wall off the exit on the right-hand side. It's then a fast run up towards the tight little chicane of turns 2 and 3, and then the fast-paced, short, sharp run through turn 4. Got to be able to get the car turned in. Cannot run it way too wide, as that can hurt your run, of course, as well. It's then a fast, long run down towards turn number 6. We'll then see a fast-paced run down turn 6 through the rollercoaster section of the S's at 7 and 8, and then round Dandenong Road at turn 9. Then a fast run through turn 10, and then up towards 11, 12, and 13 to finish out a beautiful lap around this circuit of Sandown. As I mentioned, it is one of my favourites, especially here in Victoria. Has very special place in my heart, does this one, being the local circuit that I live closest to. We are going to be getting into qualifying very, very shortly, where these drivers will begin some qualifying laps around this circuit. And Jack Oz, the big boy, great to have you in the chat, mate. Fresh off the P5 of the 6 hours of the Glen, of course, as well. But we will see. It's very early doors, man. I've had knocks on my doors from the botherers of of some deities, possibly. It's that early doors, but the drivers are going to have a crack here in qualifying. We do not want to give anything up here in terms of pace or who's going to end up where here in qualifying, of course, but about to get underway. We've got 2 new drivers making their debuts here tonight for Legends World Challenge, including James Boardman and Mark Howard. Great to have both of them in the series here this afternoon, and we'll see how they do out here at Sandown, of course. But Kyle Gretsch and Roddy Morris. Gretschy makes a return to the series after being away for a couple of rounds. Same with Rodney. Both of them have not raced since round number 1 out at Donington Park. So great to have them both back on circuit with us. Oh, as Rodney puts it into the wall in the background. Of course, Kyle had his little R&D mission for round number 2. And was on holiday for round number 3, but he's back for round 4 here tonight at Sandown as Sheafy and Mark get out on track. Mark having his first laps here in the Legend in qualifying conditions. We'll see if he can find some pace in this thing. We know he's a good driver and a good operator on his day. It's whether he can put all the pieces of the puzzle together and have a completed product by the end of the race or even by the end of the season as well. James Boardman is out there, the old Boarsman. We'll see if he can continue his run that he's had in the V8 Veterans of being a fast operator into the Legends car, and see if that translates as well as he follows Jordan Ferguson around. We know that Boarsman has got pace. Recently had a big change of life. He sold his business and now looks forward to whatever next chapter he has in his life ahead of him here As qualifying is underway, we'll have 8 minutes of qualifying. We're nearly 2 minutes in already, so it's going to fly by pretty quickly. They shouldn't get too many laps in here in this qualifying session as they try and run their way down towards Dandenong Road. On their outlap here. Kyle Gretsch, the first driver to start a lap of this Sandown circuit, as he tries to tiptoe his way through the curb-heavy first sector of this track. It's a purple in the first. We'll see if Rodney can go any better or if anyone else can better him here as well. Oh, I just realised that that qualifying mode is going to tell us where everyone finishes up, and I don't want that at this point. As Kyle comes down towards turn 6. Feels like an eternity in these cars, but oh, it feels like an absolute wrestle when you're trying to keep this thing straight through there. That's a big slide from Gretsch. Manages to pull it up. Doesn't lose anything in the Pedro car apart from a bit of time on the circuit here. Borsman has now gotten past Jordan Ferguson onto the back straight. Mark Howard looks to come through Dandenong Road. Bit of a cleaner run through there than what Kyle had. See who is going to get the benefits of attrition here tonight or who may crash and burn. We know we had some big incidents last time out. Of course, Jack Anderson, Jordan Ferguson getting wins last week, but Jordan winning the round on countback due to him having a better qualifying position for race number 1. We'll see if they can continue their run at the moment. They look to be the championship contenders with Linzell and Crum not on track tonight. As, well, I guess you could say that Linzell and Crum will be using their drop rounds at the moment if they were to race next week, of course. And Anderson hasn't had a round away. Jordan woke up for this round, but not this broadcast. We'll be having words early doors with Jordan about that one for sure. As Rodney looks to be carrying heavy damage on the front of that car down towards turn 6. Ash DeVries out there, new livery on his car here tonight in the Family Guy colours. Good to see. We've also got Graham Filand back on track after a week away. He went over to Bali and, well, hopefully he had some drinks for the boys while he was over there. Chiefy, he's been having a slightly more consistent run this season. He's had a couple of moments, but he looks to be cleaning his act up a little bit and trying to stay out of the wars. We'll see if he can follow through here tonight at Sandown and make most of what he has attempted here. As times are starting to come in, it is currently James Borsman pole position, Mark Howard P2, Tyler Sheaf P3 with DeVries P4, and then Anderson, Ferguson, Gretsch, and Morris make up the running order. Filand has not set a lap here in qualifying, as he has got a penalty off the back of Knockhill, which he has been given I believe he was given a pit lane start. I can't quite remember. It was a couple of weeks ago now, so it was either a pit lane start or a rear of grid, but he's not able to take part in qualifying here tonight. So he's taking his penalty on the chin, of course, but. You can see some of the drivers, the times that they're setting at the moment. So they're all roughly around the same pace. Morris is a bit off the cuff at the moment, but he'll be hoping to just try and survive in this one and get the most out of the car here tonight. As Anderson looks to get some more pace out of the warp machine. Of course, big Halo fan is Ashos. Yeah, Jacko's saying he forgot about that. No, I did not, because yeah. Graham wasn't here last week, so he hasn't actually had a chance to commit to his penalty. I believe it's a rear of grid. Penalty that he actually copped for that one. So, but we know he's got some good pace. He's a clean driver in these things as well, apart from getting that penalty for a slight net code, but. He'll be looking forward to getting out on track, I'm sure, and having a nice run once again after having not being on track with us for 2 weeks now after missing last week's races. Ferguson had it off there in the background down at Dandenong Road. through to the final corners comes Anderson. We'll see if he can improve his time at the moment. As Sheafy's had an off-track apparently. I know he's just gone into the pits. So Sandown, it's a great little circuit, of course. Offered up so many great races over the years, known, of course, for the Sandown 500. Remember coming here, I've been to this circuit a couple of times now over the Sandown 500 weekend. Last time I was here was 2019, I believe it was. 2019, I think. 2018, maybe. It might have been 2018. With Jack Anderson, ironically, we were there together. So, and that was a good weekend. A little bit of a wet weekend by the end of it, but it was a good one nonetheless. As Anderson comes down the back straight now. It's 30 seconds left in qualifying, not long to go just yet here in quali. James Boardman looks to have P1 on the road locked up with his 123.22 as he has a big dance down towards Dandenong Road and a kiss with the wall as well. Not what you want to have happen, especially in Dandenong. And that car's now going to have to tow back to pits, and that'll be qualifying done and dusted for Borsman. Howard looks to finish off his lap, try and challenge the pole position. No, he can't. He gets locked out of the opportunity. Grid has been set. We will look to go racing here around Sandown. 2 races, of course, the sprint and the feature here tonight, as they are all going to start getting gridded up for this one. And they're going to be having a rolling start, it seems. Either a trial of something, maybe a stuff up by one of the admins for setting up the session. Who knows? The person who did it would know. But the starting grid for tonight's race will be James Boardman to Tyler Sheaf in P2. Mark Howard P3. Ash DeVries P4. Jordan Ferguson starts P5 ahead of Jack Anderson. Kyle Gretsch, Graham Filan and Rodney Morris make up the grid here tonight for the running of 9 cars in this race. Let me know your predictions, guys, if you're out there and you are watching. Get into the chat. Let us know if you were racing on Friday night, how you felt about the circuit. If you have raced around this circuit, how you feel about it. And if you'd be willing to give these cars a try around here. It looks like a good track for them. Nice and wide. You know, they only take up a small profile on the circuit as the rolling start is about to begin. So they'll do a full circuit around behind the safety car. And then we will go racing here for the first heat of the night, which should be 10 minutes. Should be our distance for this one. There's a big burnout from Ferguson in the background, just getting those tyres nice and warmed up. He's going to lead them away. I'm going to be honest, I naturally just say Borsman now. There is no in between. It is just all naturally saying Borsman. I mean, you can just see the profile they take up in comparison to the Mustang safety car. I mean, it is barely anything on the road. You could probably get 3 of these things, maybe even squeeze 4 down the main straight of the circuit. So not the back straight, but the actual start-finish line straight. Of course, it traverses around a horse circuit here. The circuit's had a couple of different layout changes over the years. Used to actually back in onto the horse racing circuit at one point in time. But it has had this layout since 1987. At least this layout available to it, apart from the final corners. That final section was added at a later date. They used to just have a straight run down from turn 10 all the way down to the final corner. And they eventually then added in the chicane area to slow the cars down a little bit more coming into that final corner, of course, as well. But we'll see who's going to get the jump early doors in this race, who's going to get the benefits of survival, and who may have a kiss with destiny, also known as the wall, here at Sandown tonight. It is it's a tough circuit, tough circuit. Ash DeVries in the chat giving us the eyeballs. Great to have you here, Shoz. How's that safety car going at Lamar? I heard it got into second stage after they've had to refuel it multiple times. As the car's going to come round through the final couple of corners now. They're going to get ready to go racing here at Sandown. It's going to be green running down towards the straight. Great start there from Borsman as they all start to spread out now down towards turn number 1. Can you keep yourself in line here, Pazul? As they follow on through. Nice and wide run at the back of the field. Morris hanging back a little bit here. Doesn't want to get caught up in anything. As they have a fast run underneath the Penrite sign. Oh, wheel-to-wheel action here with Anderson and DeVries in the background. Looks like Gretsch wants to get in on the action too. Sheafy's had a great start as DeVries has had a little bit of a spin there alongside Anderson as they come on through onto the back straight. Look to have survived at the moment. As Graham Filan is a man on a mission right now. He's gone from the back of the field and has already made his way up here to P6 on the road. He's looking pacey, he's looking fast, and well, he's looking to take advantage of these battles happening at the moment as they come for the fast run down through the roller coaster. On board with Anderson now. You can see the kind of pressure that's going to be applied from the fast approaching Filan, who's running off wide at Dandenong Road. And all of a sudden he is out of the hunt, out of the battle, and will have to come back from this one. And all of a sudden it's just DeVries lurking in the background on Anderson. As they come down the main straight now to start lap number 2. Borsman still leading the way to Tyler Sheaf in behind. A minute 30 into this session. Already it's Borsman to Sheaf to Anderson to DeVries to Howard to Gretsch to Ferguson to Filan to Morris. That's the running order so far. As they look to lead themselves through the first sector. DeVries looks pacey early doors here as he looks to chase down Jack Anderson. Maybe get the revenge for the little arm wrestle that they had through turn 3. Howard doing well. He's down 2 spots here, but still looks straight, still looks pacey in the Krusty Mobile. As the Pedro car of Kyle Gretsch in behind him. And multiple race winner Jordan Ferguson lurking in behind in the 21 Iron Blue car as well. Fastest lap of the race so far was done by James Boardman, 124.08. So he's got pace early and he's already built some gap over Tyler Sheaf in the background. It's already out to 1.6 seconds. In behind him now, closest battle on track is the one between Ferguson and Gretsch as Ferguson gets it done round the outside in towards turn 11 and into turn 12. As they all start to spread out just a little bit now. Anderson, though, goes with the fastest lap that last lap by 123.302. So he's already starting to show some pace. Ferguson looks to chase down the Alpha Overtaker, King Elite, Mr. Top Split, Mark Howard in front of him. As we come up towards turn 2. So settling in a little bit more now as Anderson's gotten past Sheaf. Sheaf dropping back. What has happened to Tyler Sheaf here? Why is he lost out of positions? I think this might be why. So he's coming up. Oh, caught the curb. Backed it into the wall. Very lucky not to collect anyone else. Looks to continue on. That's big losses there as Gretsch also had a spin round at turn 3. So he now goes back to the rear of the grid with Rodney Morris to give him a nice little battle here. Really snapping onto that one. As Ferguson continues to try and chase down Mark Howard now for P5 on the road. They've got Sheaf ahead of them who looks to try and just maintain and mitigate any more mistakes in this race. But tyres will be absolutely screaming after that little minor spin between 3 and 4. When you think, when you think they've settled in, when you think they've pulled their jets a little bit, something happens, a little bit of magic gets produced. We get a little bit of chaos, a little bit of controversy, or something that can change the landscape of the race going forward as we etch closer and closer towards the halfway point of this race. 4 minutes in, onto lap 4 now. Borsman still leads with Anderson 3.2 seconds in behind. So a dominating performance on debut here for James, who looks to become the next new race winner here in the Legends World Challenge. We've only had 3 different race winners over the last 3 rounds. which, of course, are Jordan Ferguson, Sean Linzell, and Jack Anderson in 3 different combinations across all of the rounds. First round, it was Ferguson and Linzell. Second round was Linzell and Anderson. And then last week for round number 3, it was Anderson and Ferguson. So you run down towards Dandenong Road. Ferguson and Filan now catching up onto the back of Mark to make this a little triple threat affair in towards Dandenong Road. Must have seen the indie wrestling posters down at the local chip shop on Princess Highway and want to make this a nice feisty affair between them. Graham having a little peek on the inside line, but Ferguson defending well, managed to carry some good pace through there. But there must be something in the water in Bali, because Graham is on a run right now up towards up towards P6 now down the main straight. 5 3/4 minutes into this one, so not long to go. Probably around about, I want to say 2 or 3 laps before Filan gets that move done. Slots into P6 on the road, and this is going to be a big loss of points here for Ferguson in comparison to Anderson, who's up in P2. So their championship battle is going to continue on, regardless of where they are, obviously, but he's dropping big points down. Needs a good performance in race 2, but at the moment he will be starting on the second row of the grid. Pole position would be going to Kyle Gretsch. P2 would be to Rodney Morris at this point in time. Say that, Gretsch takes the position from Morris, who we've had a bit of a moment through turn number 1, but Borsman leads the way 6.5 minutes into this 10-minute little sprint race here at the start of the night. Anderson 3 seconds back now, so Borsman's showing some pace early. I don't know if it's too late for him to make a championship charge at this point. Like, I'm not sure if he were to win every single race, if he could put in a proper championship challenge with only 5 rounds to go. Of course, remember, the calendar's been shortened just to 8 rounds. It's 5 rounds to go, including tonight. So, I don't know. I don't know if he can realistically do that at this point in time, after missing 3 races and dropping big points. Ferguson still trying to chase down Mark. Still trying to get this position over him. Trying to get up into P6 on the road. Remembering that Ferguson leads the championship at the moment. So he's been having some great runs so far. It was a big run out at his ends in Alton Park last week that got him that championship lead. He's just trying to maximise on points at the moment. So all he has to do is maximise on those points. Try and make up anything that he can. 2 minutes left in this race. Where is the leader, Borsman? Because that's going to determine how many laps we have left. We're going to have 2 laps to go, as he has crossed the timing line before 1 lap distance to the 10-minute marker, as Anderson's just at the fast lap of the race, 1:23.29. He's closed the gap just a little bit on the leader of Boardman. Look at that train in behind of De Vries to Sheaf to Filan to Howard to Ferguson, as Ferguson looks for an entry down the inside. Can't quite find it yet. Maybe drop the key, trying to unlock the door. Can he pull a rabbit out of the hat and show us some magic from the 21 entry? And of course, got the Ash loves the train. He loves the train, especially a techno train. Choo 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 choo. We're riding on the techno train. That's about as much as we can do without getting a strike. As De Vries looks to clinch a podium finish here tonight, just has to hold it together ahead of Sheaf. Filan is on an absolutely mega run at the moment. Boardman's going to come round. He's going to start the final lap in just a moment's time here. Going to be white flag when he crosses the line. There it is. Barney's out on the flagpole. Waves the white flag. 1 to go. 2 seconds is the gap between Borsman and Anderson at the moment. And then De Vries has only got 4/10 in behind Ashifi as well. Filand is P5. Howard still holds off Ferguson at this stage in time. As Morris is into the pits, Gretsch is P8 on the road as De Vries enters turn 1. Slightly wide entry, but does well to hold off for the moment. Covers that middle line to Sheafy, so he can't try and dart down the inside. Up towards turn 4 now. It's a one-line run through there. Does well to get the pace out of the car. Good exit from De Vries. Not giving anything up to Sheaf here. He wanted to try and maximise the run out of 4. Couldn't quite get it done over the car ahead. De Vries should hang on here as long as he can keep the car straight down through Dandenong Road. He may be okay at this point. Down through Dandenong Road they come now. Looking good still. Sheaf not quite close enough to put in a challenge. Filan isn't either. As Boardman is going to come round the final couple of corners now. And on debut in race number 1, off the pole, led every single lap. And James Boardman is going to take the win for race number 1 of Sandown here tonight. Anderson does well in his championship fight to finish P2. De Vries is going to get a miraculous P3 ahead of Sheaf and Filan. Howard is going to survive against Ferguson in the background for P6 and P7. And then Gretsch in a lonely old P8 at the moment is going to start P2 in the next race as Morris is still in the pits. And brings it home across the line. I was about to go to the winner of the last race, but he disappeared off my screen. 2 minutes of warm-up now. Just to give us a chance to have a bit of a breath, have a bit of a drink. If you're watching and need to go to the loo or need to go collect another can, go do it now because we have a 15-minute feature race to come with big implications on offer. Boardman and Anderson are going to start at the back of the field, of course. Morris and Gretsch are going to start at the front and everyone else going to be shuffled in between. It's a reverse grid format in Legends World Challenge. This is a bit of an expression session on the main straight starting out now from Anderson. Gretsch is out there as well trying to get a practice start in since he'll be starting at the front of the grid. So good to see them having a bit of fun here in the warm-up session. It's the on-track entertainment. This is the Matt Mingay section of the race weekend. That's what it is. It's that on-track entertainment. The synchronized donuts here on the main straight of Sandown. You love to see it. Of course, based out of pretty much right in between Springvale and Dandenong. As Jack's found a little ramp that he can drive up. Oh, but then he also found the Shadow Realm as well. Fergo saying the stunt show. Exactly right, Jordan. It is the stunt show. You know, get him some jumps and they'll provide the entertainment. As Gretsch has also found the ramp. Oh, here comes one of the stunts. Oh, yep, that'll work. That'll do it. As warm-up is about to end in just a moment's time here. The crowd have come in numbers, filling out the stands of Sandown for us. Well, I think there might be a couple too many race trucks in this pit lane and paddock area for who is racing here this evening. But it's all in good fun, of course, as race 2 is about to get underway as well. It will be a rolling start once again. Reverse grid on offer for race number 2 here tonight. You see Anderson lines up well. He will line up alongside De Vries. Oh, actually, is it? Yeah, it is a reverse grid. I just wanted to double check that one. Got 2 trucks for full car spares. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's there's 2 lots of cars in case they roll and crash. For sure. Packed crowds here at Sandown. They've I'm surprised it wasn't packed crowds for the little warm-up session for the stunt show. They all left and now all of a sudden they're back again. So they only want to see the best action on offer for us here. Out at Sandowners. Morris is going to have pole position when they pull away. He will start alongside Kyle Gretsch on the front row of the grid. They will, of course, have Ferguson and Howard in behind them. Then it'll be Filand and Sheaf. And then DeFries and Anderson. And then Boardman will be all alone on the final row of the grid. Here for race number 2. Feature race coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting on Jordan. One eternity later. He had to go have a little nap during the stunt show. That's what it was. He forgot to set the alarm. You guys are proper characters. Absolutely love to see it. If you guys haven't already, please be sure hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you are notified whenever we go racing with the Legends World Challenge. But it will be moving next season. It'll be moving over to SRW, Sim Racing World TV, for next season. There's a free series on offer for them. All you need to be is a registered driver with them. You can register at www.simracingworld.com.au. Get registered. Come and race with us. We're debating whether it's going to be a Sunday afternoon or a Monday night for racing the Legends World Challenge over in SRW, but all the information will be revealed shortly. The one thing we can reveal is round number 1 for next season is going to be held at Belle Isle. So should be a massive first round for that season. You'll want to be involved. As I said, go and sign up at www.simracingworld.com.au. That's www.simracingworld.com.au. As Morris and Gretsch are going to lead them away, you can see them all spreading out in the background. We'll see how long he holds them for. But he has gone off exit of the final corner. We are underway for race number 2 here tonight. It's claiming this is actually lap 2, not lap 1, since they've done the rolling start. There we go. Now it's the as they come up towards turn number 1. Needs to try and survive here through the first corner. Oh, Morris does well. Hasn't cracked under pressure, but who has cracked under pressure is Gretsch, who's already given up positions to Filand and to Ferguson ahead of him. As we come round turn number 4 now, continue on through. So tightly contested at the moment. Howard got back a couple of spots already. Sheaf and Anderson on the charge. Borsman looks to gain positions early on here. Filand looks to take the lead from Morris. Down towards turn number 6 in the 333 entry. He is yet to take a win this season, is Graham. We'll see if he can pull it off here tonight in the VB car. Or big wide run for Anderson and DeVries. That'll be a slowdown for sure through the S's. As they come through Dandenong Road, then round towards turn number 10. Just a little kink in the road at that point in time. Ferguson already up at a P2 on the road with Morrison behind. Gretsch looks for the big send up onto the podium as well. Oh, didn't quite get the run though. He's now side by side with Sheaf alongside him. Down towards turn number 1. They touch wheels just a little bit here. Morris trying to survive as best he can ahead of the fast approaching cars in behind. Now through turn 1 they come. Under brakes. Heavy braking zone. Trying to just get it turned in. Oh, Gretsch is looking for a big send. Not quite there. Morris runs it wide. Gives it to him for free. Anderson has a little bit of a slide in the background. as Morris is just trying to let these guys go, but he's had a spin round. In the background, De Vries is in the wall in behind. Anderson now trying to continue on, and he's had wheel touches with Howard. De Vries then disappears into Anderson's car. How has this all occurred? Borsman's been involved. And after all that, Morris continues on ahead of them as Borsman then also tried to mount Anderson. If we could have safety cars, that would be one of them. But Anderson's day may be done. Big damage on that car. He's going to be far, far down the order here now. But Filan looks to continue on for another strong run this season. Try and get his first race win of the season as Gretsch is struggling here to catch up to Tyler Sheaf. We're only 2.5 minutes into this race, folks. I don't know what's going to happen in this one. We are no longer early doors. We are late gate at this point now. And, well, the field has spread drastically. Absolute massacre, Mark. An absolute massacre. I don't know how. I've got no idea how that has all happened. Not the first time De Vries has tried to mount me. That was Borsman that mounted you, though. De Vries just disappeared inside of you completely. As Ferguson spun it round as I took a mouthful of my drink, he's lost it. Up at turn 3. And now finds himself off the podium and trying to survive. Anderson, Howard and De Vries are in the pits. Ferguson's off the podium. Filan leads to Sheaf and to Gretsch. Morris looks to come back here in this race, as Gretsch will now just be hoping to survive on the podium. Wow, wowee. What a way to give it away, Jordan. Good job. That's what happens when you go shopping at 6 p.m. and have to bring in the shopping before your race. That is the consequence of those actions. As Anderson, De Vries and Howard all back on track now at the back of the field here tonight, so they're not going to be getting maximum points in this one. But what it means is it's going to keep the championship title close, which we of course love to see. We love to see a nice close battle for the championship. This is the closest battle on track though between Ferguson and Morris. They are less than a second separated. He didn't have time to fill up on his Iron Brew. No O Jackos. It's just IRNBRU. That's the colloquial spelling of that one. As he just tries to break the train that he's starting to build with Morris now. And well, Morris is just not quite able to carry the speed through turn 3 and up into 4, so as they spread out once again. So it's wrong. Pozzole. So at the moment we have got Mr. Filan leading the way here by a fair gap, 5.2 seconds. Actually now 5.3, back to Sheafy in P2. Gretsch then follows along another 4 seconds back. Ferguson is then another 8 seconds back with Morris about a second in behind. Borsman is on a charge, not too far behind, but is carrying a little bit of damage on that car it seems. Anderson 25 seconds back on his own. De Vries, same situation. And then Howard just trying to get back into the swing of things. So we've settled down a little bit. Everyone's kind of spread out now, as in fact Graham is on the road to lapping Mark at this point. But we'll see. We'll see who's going to be able to, reap the benefits of this race. And, well, if anything more chaotic can occur, as Borsman is now off the track at turn 1 up towards 2, pushing a bit too hard to come back here. And just giving up time to Rodney Morris up ahead of him. This could be Morris's best round of the season so far if he can pull this thing together. He's, well, unfortunately for him, he's only finished at the back of the field in both his races, all 3 of his races he's done across the 2 rounds he has competed in. But room for improvement means that he can find pace in this thing, and it can take time. You know, the Borsman, though, is a... he's a smart operator. He's used to being able to tame boars. Why can't he tame the Legend? I think he will be up to the task after proving that he can by winning race number 1 here tonight. Oh, Gretsch has just set his fastest lap of the race, a 23.9 on that last lap. That was a great effort there from Gretsch. He's got Ferguson just trying to edge closer and closer. Halfway point of this race now. That's absolutely flown by so far. As Graham looks to have this thing wrapped up at this point, but you can never say never in the Legends. They're so unpredictable. You don't know who's going to be involved in an incident, and you don't know who could get caught up in someone else's incident, of course, as well. As Morris now under massive assault from Borsman, who looks to take what he wants, because he takes what he wants as an alpha overtaker, and we'll see if he's going to send it down through turn 6, or if he's going to be patient here and give Morris plenty of racing room. Trickle on down the hill. Oh, you can just see the amount of pace that Boardman carries more than Morris. Morris locks it up under pressure, runs it wide. Borsman says, "Thank you, sir. I'll take that spot." Moves up into the top 5 and now looks ahead to Jordan Ferguson into P4. So this battle should now start to heat up as Borsman starts to fill that gap a little bit and reel the Iron Brew entry into the Englishman, Jordan Ferguson. Current running order of things as we stand. You cue the Jaws theme in Rodney's head. Off track. As we currently stand though, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Howard sits P9 on the road to Ash DeVries up ahead of him in P8. Jack Anderson P7 at the moment. Rodney Morris in a series best P6 at the moment. James Boardman in P5 with Jordan Ferguson P4. Kyle Gretsch for a series best P3 at this stage. Tyler Sheaf P2. And then Graham Filan leads the way at the moment. Ferguson is just trying to hang on and not let Boardman catch up to him at this stage. We're going to have 5 minutes to get left to go here, sorry. We'll see if he can hang on in this one out at Sandown. And we'll see if he can hold him off for very long. But he's catching at a rapid pace. 2.7 seconds is now the gap between them. And we'll see if, if Fergo can hold him off. Let's go on board with Graham at the moment. He's looking good here to possibly take his first win of the season. I have to see if he can hang on to it though, but we'll go on board. We'll sit with him here for the next lap of this race. And through the final corners he comes now. Just looking so smooth at this stage. As we come on to lap 9, 11 minutes into this race now. So fast pace run down towards turn number 1. It'll be hard on the brakes. I'm not even going to hazard a guess where. Oh, just after the 100, about the 75 meter mark. Comes through 1. Runs a good line through there. Gets the car nice and planted through 2 and 3. Avoids those curbs importantly. through the chicane. Avoids the curb on the inside once again. You cannot curb strike these things. They do not like it. And he's running the perfect line at the moment. As we know that De Vries will be watching closely along, as he loves to try and follow perfect lines. As Filan comes up towards turn number 6, should get on the brakes. Oh, no brakes, just a bit of a lift. Oh, nice little tiptoe down the hill. Keeps it nice and straight at the moment. Gets it turned in well. Gives it a little bit of gas just to get it turned round. Nicely done there from Graham. He's really showing his prowess in the Legend at the moment. Putting on a clinic and hoping to get his first win. Round the final couple of corners he comes now. That was a great lap there from Graham. Done well. We have 2.5 minutes of this race left to run. So 2 laps now out at Sandown until Graham Filan can call himself a race winner here in the Legend. Sheafy P2 at the moment. Gretsch P3. They're both trying to get their first podiums of the season. So this will be all new podium finishes here tonight. If we finish how we currently are, we'd have no former podium finishes at this point in time. Carl's doing pretty well. Oh, is he? Runs it through there. P3 at the moment. As mentioned, this will be his first podium of the season as he spins it round at turn 4. And he's going to try and get this thing turned around as quickly as possible, as he has got a fast approaching Jordan Ferguson, who's coming through now. And all of a sudden, the sweat starts to build on the brow of Kyle Gretsch, who has a fast approaching Jordan Ferguson and James Boardman coming up on behind him. I was just singing his praises, saying, you know, it could be his first podium. We could have the, all new podium finishes in this race. He looks to make me out to be a liar, as he has the man who's won the most races alongside Linzell and Anderson this season with 2, in Ferguson coming up behind him now. And he's doing better than you, Jordan, but you're right on him once again. You're going to have 1 lap to get him here in this race. Actually, where is Graham? Graham has crossed the line. Yeah, I think there should be white flag lap now. So Kyle just has to try and survive for 1 more lap as best he can to get his first podium of the season. Sheafy's checked out ahead. He looks to be clear. Graham looks to get this win done and dusted the next time he comes by. Although Barney's not actually waving the white flag, so we might have 2. Might have 2 laps left as Sheafy is up ahead. Looks good at the moment. Oh, no, but he's caught the curb. I spoke too soon. He's now spun it round. Tries to flick spin it. Here come the other 2. Can he get going once again? All of a sudden, it's gone from being a big gap as Ferguson's put it in the wall then behind. And all of a sudden, it's safety net for Gretsch as Boardman comes on through. And it seems that we're back where we were only 2 laps ago by process of elimination of who's been having some incidents. But Boardman takes P4 on the road. Gretsch now P3. Sheafy P2 and Filan in P1 still, as he's going to come round. He's going to finish out this race. He's going to get the checkered flag. He is going to take his very first win of the season after starting with a penalty here tonight of starting on the back of the grid. He will take the win in race number 2. Sheafy's going to come round. He is going to finish P2 on the road here. Nah, Jordan was round fixing, so he didn't win the round. Sheafy comes across the line, gets his first podium of the season. Gretsch is going to finish P3. Boardman is going to win the round here tonight by finishing P4 in this one. Ferguson in behind. Morris has spun it round to the final corner, but he is going to get a season best result of P6 here if he can hang on. And does so. Great job there by him. As I can see, Boardman's gone to the wrong channel. I'm just going to drag him down if I can. Yeah, I can. Do that, and then do that. He had to come into the waiting room. He didn't do that. But Boardman is the round winner here tonight. Big celebrations on offer from them out there as the burnouts continue to happen. We'll drag him into the broadcast booth. Mr. Borsman, after bringing you through about 3 different voice channels to get you to the right one, we finally have you here tonight. Great job out there, mate. First round, you got your first win on the road in race 1. Backed it up with P4 and the round win here. How do you feel about Sandown and these cars as a car track combination?
Well, yeah, thanks for getting me in here. Sorry to give about 3 goes to get me in, but
That's all good.
yeah, it's good. I've been out of the sim for quite some time now, so what better way to do it than jump into a Legends? And Sandown's definitely a favourite of mine. So yeah, pretty happy with the win.
Well, I mean, it was probably one of the best circuits you could have gotten it done at. You get some good banker points here to get your season underway. Next week, we got a big round coming up as well. I'm just going to quickly double check what track we're at. We're at Bathurst next week. Of course, it's where you took your first Vets win back in season 13. So how are you feeling about returning to Mount Panorama and maybe trying to get another win under your belt?
Yeah, I think again, like Bathurst is everyone's favourite, but I think driving a Legends car, it's like throw everything out the window that you think you know about, driving a supercar or whatnot. So I don't think the skills are transferable to a degree. But I guess either way, if we're going to have 4 cars side by side down Conrod going into the chase, bring it.
So, will you be camping in the mountain suite next week just to get right into the action at Bathurst?
No, I will be actually. I mean, because the Legend car is so small, that's actually why I have such a small tent. So that makes perfect sense.
Oh, mate, thanks for coming have a quick chat to me. Congratulations on your first win of the series here tonight. Best of luck for Bathurst next week, and best of luck for the rest of the season as well.
Oh, thanks, mate. And a quick shout out to Jack Oz. I think the fact that I mounted him was probably his highlight.
Mate, he loves getting mounted, and who better to do it than the Boars man?
Maybe get mounted at the mountain. Look out.
Look out. All right, I'll let you get out of here, mate. Thanks
All
heaps
right.
for coming, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, Hamish.
Mr. Borsman there, our round winner for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And that will bring an end to our round number 4 coverage here out at Sandown Raceway. Really, really appreciate your time once again coming and joining me here out at Sandown. It was a great night of racing. Bathurst next week going to be a massive one. Be sure to, if you don't want to miss the action, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon so you are notified when we go live with that one next time by here. But I've been Hamish Munro. This has been the Legends World Challenge. We'll see you here next Sunday afternoon for Bathurst. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.